Hello folks, I am the Big Blue, and today we are going to talk about Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is a JRPG made and developed by Square Enix. It is about a kid named Sora who's been chosen by a Keyblade to fight the darkness, with some help of Disney characters and Final Fantasy. It's a good game series, I like it, but today we are going to talk about every single one of them. We are going to talk about them. We're going to look at them. You're going to hear about my opinion about the whole game series. So, let's begin with the first one. No, not Birth by Sleep, the first one. We'll get to Birth by Sleep at another time. I'm going to go to chronological order by the time they came out. Okay? Alright then, let's go. Kingdom Hearts, the first game, is the first game of the series. It is the one that everyone knows about and was introduced to first. This one, it has three main characters. I consider them three main characters because they're the only characters that you know first. That is Sora, Riku, and Kairi. Even though you don't see the other two for a while, so, oh well. Sora, he lives on an island and him and his friends are trying to get away from it. Try to figure out there's another world out there. And there is, because Kairi came from that world. So they tried to go out and everything. But then one night a storm happened and wasn't that unique? It was a different storm. It was some weird dark light creatures came out and weird dark light creatures came out of nowhere, and Sora cannot feed them until his friend Riku sucks him down in darkness, and he comes out with a Keyblade and start hacking, slashing all over the place. And his island was destroyed and all that. And his friend Kairi, he does not know where she is. Neither does his friend Riku. So Sora goes on a journey to try to find him. And while in the meantime, he ends up finding two very original looking characters. You know, Donald and Goofy. While they're trying to find King Mickey. Because why not? So they team up, try to save the world and try to find Sora's friends. Do they do that? Nope. Well, yeah and no, but hey. At the end of the game, Sora defeats Ansem, who at that time was the main villain, but also sealing the door of darkness with King Mickey and Riku. And Kairi goes back to the island, and Sora ends up in some land of grass. Learn about that in the next game. So, Sora goes on now the journey to try to find his friend Riku, because that is the only friend that he has not found and made friends again yet, because we are an awful relationship. Ultimate ship right there. Sora and Riku, ultimate ship. So, what is this game that everybody likes? Well, everyone likes the combat and the story-ish. One thing I liked about it is because I could see some of my favorite Disney characters' stories still going on. Well, ish. Basically, every world is basically a retelling of the movies. Tarzan's retelling the first movie, and Alice in Wonderland is kind of, well, Alice in Wonderland is not really a retelling, but hey, close enough. And Hercules is his own story, which I kind of like. I actually do. I like that. You know, I really seriously like that. They're putting some of these worlds into their own, world and trying to retell them the movies, but with their own little twist. I like that. I really do like that. But also I like the worlds where they actually do original stories, like where you go to the Mount Olympus and try to be a hero and stuff, and Herc is still, a hero and everything. So I like that. I like that. Also, you don't really get to go into the Beauty and Beast stories until you're kind of trying to help Belle and Beast try to work things out. So I like that. I really do. And also Peter Pan and all the other ones in this game. The worlds in these ones are really not really lifelike, but they're kind of on a singular linear path. You know, you go into this one, you go into this one. And it is technically an open world because you get to go around anywhere you want. And all that cool stuff. So, is the game good? Oh yeah, it is. But I do have problems. Sometimes the lines in these stories are kind of weird. It's kind of a thing for Kingdom Hearts where the lines in these stories don't really make any goddamn sense. But you know what? It is pretty cool. It's funny. You know, and everything. So, and like I mentioned, there is Final Fantasy characters in this, and they kind of, you know, go into the story. Where you don't see them in other worlds except Hollow Bastion and Mount Olympus. You see Cloud in there, but hey, they're in there. They're in there, you know. You kind of have to deal with that, but hey. I'm just saying, Final Fantasy fans are not going to like it that their characters are just waiting in this little town and anything. So, hey. Oh well. And no, none of the, you know, Final Fantasy villains are in this, you know, game series. Sorry. Can't do it. Can't do it. Gotta deal with that. So, what about the next game? Chains of Memories. One of the worst ones of the whole series. My God, who came up with this idea? Who in the world came up with this idea? Who came with this? Who had the idea to just get rid of the whole combat system and just use cards? I mean, come on. I mean, yeah, you use the cards to go to other worlds, but hey, you gotta use them in combat. You can't use any spells unless you got enough cards. My gosh! Ah! Whew! Get that out of my system. Yeah, this one is the worst, but is the worst in gameplay. Well, I mean, it did originally came out on the Game Boy, but hey. So they kind of had to deal with it. So, what is it about this game that's good? Well, the story in this one is actually pretty interesting. Where you play both as Sora and Riku. I think in the original, but I'm going by Final Mix. Where Sora goes in this castle called Castle Oblivion, and he goes anytime he's trying to get to the end of it. While in the meantime, he's losing his memories. Hence, Chains of Memories. So in this one, he has to go through this castle and try to find his friend Kairi. Or nominate or something. I don't know. While also trying to fight these weird people in these black cloaks. Now, if you've played the Final Mix version of the first game, first Kingdom Hearts, you kind of see like there's a secret ending where you see a bunch of people in black cloaks. These are these people. Now, I don't think they really gave them a name in this one, just people in black cloaks and stuff. So while you're going through this world, you're trying to battle them and also trying to remember your name. You remember your memories. Sadly, that does not work because Sora's a bonehead. Yeah, you eventually do defeat all the people in black cloaks, except one, Axel, because you see him in Kingdom Hearts 2. We'll get to that one later in the next one. So. And at the end of it, Sora goes into a machine where he gets refixed his memories because the memories that he has right now aren't really his. They're really being made by this girl named Namine who did them. She's the one who created the Castle Oblivion and all that. So that's Sora. Now there is also Riku's story is him and King Mickey go into the castle and stuff and try to defeat whoever. And this is my favorite because I like Riku. He's pretty cool. He's the only character. He's the character I always liked. It. Person who accepts his dark side, but also he also has lights. They're both good and bad. I like that. Yin and yang. So what is Riku's here? He's just trying to get through the castle and trying to save his friends. Also trying to battle the darkness that's in him. And he eventually accepts that. So he battles that and also battles a more dark version of him that's basically a clone that was made by the cloak people. And you defeat him, and at the end of it, Riku accepts that he is both dark and light. He takes the middle path. Play the game and you learn what that's from. And also, they get both a black cloak and stuff. Why did everyone get a black cloak? I mean, come on now. So, next game, which... Oh, yeah. Next one, Kingdom Hearts 2. Yeah. Kingdom Hearts 2. One of my favorite games of the whole series. One of my all-time favorites of this whole series. It's number one pick on Kingdom Hearts. If people ask me what game should I play, I say Kingdom Hearts 2 because it has a better story, has amazing characters, and does it way better. But would that be low loss and stuff? Yeah, but YouTube helps. So, in this game, this is where the game series kind of makes a left turn and stuff. Where things get better, combat's better, you get more everything. It is awesome. Once you get past the tutorial. First, I'm going to talk about the major con in this whole game. Roxas. I hate him in this game. Roxas, to me, in this game, is the most useless character in his entire series. You get to know him for about a couple of hours in the game, and he just leaves. That's it. He's the tutorial. He's so bad. He is just... He's kind of my main reason why I don't play the game, replay the game sometimes, because I hate his story the whole time. And every time I play the game, I just skip the cutscenes. I just get through them. I just want to get through it. The most easiest part of the whole game, and I hate it. I just want to get through it. I don't care. I do watch the last couple minutes of cutscenes at the end of it, but hey, I just plow through it. And after that, sweet Jesus, I got done. I got done with the tutorial. I can now play as Sora. I can get the cool outfit. I can hack and slash everything. Ugh, I cannot stand him. Yeah. So, but he is kind of interesting at one moment. You learn that he's actually Sora's nobody. What's nobody? When someone turns into a Heartless, they're, I guess, something, they get turned into a nobody. And if their heart is strong enough, their parts becomes a full body. It's kind of weird. And that's when they become a nobody. Those were the people in the black cloaks in the Chains of Memory game. So in this whole game, you battle the nobodies of this. Also the Heartless, but they don't really have a leader anymore, except Melissa. She comes back after you defeated her in the first game. Oh well. So what is Sora's goal in this game? Once again, he tries to fight Riku and Kairi. Rinse and repeat here. kind of a downer. But also, you also try to figure out who is this organization. You learn that the group of nobodies, they got together and called themselves Organization 13. And in that game, you only battle, I think, a couple of them because you defeated them in that Castle of Oblivion. So hey, so you battle them and get to learn. You get to try to find your friends and try to defeat who's ever in charge. Once again, Ansem! Or Ansem's nobody. Or is it? In this game, I think in this one, or in another one, you learn that Ansem's not the true villain. There's someone else. Ansem the Wise, that's the guy in this who you learn who Diz is. Spoilers. Major spoilers in this thing. You learn that he is not really the villain of the whole thing. Yeah, there's someone else. And that person is Xehanort. He is the one. He's the major villain. He's the one who's causing this whole thing. But how? And why? So, you don't learn this until close to the end of the game. So, what do you do? You defeat his nobody and try and stuff. So, at the end of the game, you defeat him. You learn that you have a nobody, and he's inside of you, and so his Nami's inside Kairi, even though Kairi, I don't think, ever turned into an Heartless, but hey! The writers can do anything they want in this game, I guess. So at the end of the game, you go back to your island and everything's happy. Until you get a letter from King Mickey. Yeah. So, the combat in this game is way better than the first one. Way better than Chain of Memories. Everything's better than Chain of Memories. And you defeated all the nobodies and all that. So, everything should be good now. The nobodies are defeated. Heartless are gone now. What do you do next? Well, you go on another adventure. After you've found everyone and all that. Riku, this is a little bit, Riku, you find out that he went to full darkness, but then you brought him back. Happy, with longer hair and a new outfit. How did he get these new outfits? I'm just trying to figure that out now. And all that. So, what do you do? What do you do? Well, go on an adventure. And sadly, you don't get to figure out about this new adventure until 2 games later. Yeah, okay, so I'm just going to crash course into about the next couple of games after this. Okay, the next one is 356/3 days, something, one about Roxas. In my opinion, this game I kind of liked because I went on missions and stuff. I kind of liked the challenge. That's one thing. But did I like playing as Roxas? He was okay in this one. You can see what Roxas' life was like in Organization 13 in the 1 year or 2 years while being in there. So, what did you learn? Well, you learn how the organization works. They went on missions to try to get Heartless. The Keyblade, which Roxas had, was the key to the whole thing. They gather all the hearts and try to gain their own. That was their main trying thing to do in Kingdom Hearts 2, where they try to get hearts themselves because they believe. Well, they already believe they have hearts, but they want to get another heart. It's kind of confusing. Like I said, the writing in this game series is hilarious, but good. So, what do you do? Okay, well, you collect hearts, go on missions, try to do evil stuff. Well, all that. But also, you fall in love with this one girl. I'm not going to pronounce her name because I couldn't pronounce it in the game. Couldn't even pronounce it in the cinematic part of the HD version. So, and you kind of think maybe she's actually the nobody Sora. Well, no, she's not. She's just something. So, yeah. So she dies. Roxas, he Lee's organization, and Axel, he's upset about it because they're best friends. These two are basically the versions of Riku and Kairi here. Okay? So, hey! So, that happens. Roxas, Lee's organization defeats Riku somehow, even though Riku defeats him back. Riku goes in full darkness, and at the end of it, you see Roxas go into Twilight Town. Why they didn't release this game before Kingdom Hearts 2, I have no idea why. I guess this is how I remember how they came out, okay, folks? So, that's 356/2 days. Oh. So, the next one, I can't believe I'm talking about this one because I hate this one, but I gotta talk about it because I said I would, is Recoded. This one is the most useless one in the entire series. This one is basically it's not even a retelling of anything. It's not. The whole point of the entire game is because everyone's trying to figure out who this girl Nominee is. Newsflash! Y'all learned about this in the second game! So, in this one, Jimmy Cricket, he finds one of his journals that says, think Nominee and stuff. Well, if you played the final mix version of Rechain, you remember that Jimmy put down think Nominee because they wanted to thank her for getting their memories back. So, yeah, that's the whole point of the whole thing. Why they don't remember this? Because they took their memories out. They refigured their memories and everything. So, in this game, Recoded is just to figure out why that is. So, they go into the journal, actually go in the journal and try to fix it. But find out there is some black bricks, and you try to destroy them with a keyblade and all that. So, at the end of the game, you actually figure out this is all Maleficent's idea. They're actually inside a journal. After Chip and Dale leave, they get sent to the journal, everyone. So does Sora, but Sora's just, a copy version of Sora in the journal and all that. Oh my gosh. So, at the end of it, you figure out the person who keeps the journal intact is this version of Riku who tries to help him, because he is actually the journal. It's weird. I know it is. So, at the end of the game, you learn nothing. You know nothing. Maleficent tried to feed you with a journal book, and it's all useless. Skip this one. Does not help. Even though you figure out this is what... Even though in this game you learn about the letter that was making sense out because Yen said sense it. And all this was on a DS. This is the first 2 games on the DS. Oi! So, the next game. Give me a second, folks. I just went through all that. So just skip Recoded, and you're good. 356 days, you can skip it if you want. I mean, if you want to know more about how Roxas's life was in the organization. So, my third favorite game of Kingdom Hearts. A Birth by Sleep. This one came out on the PSP. It was actually one of the main reasons why I got a PSP, because I wanted to play it. So, in this game, it takes a little bit of a backstory. It's a prequel, where you get to learn about the fall of Xehanort and the start of the whole series. So, in this game, you play as 3 characters. Terra, he's someone, and you play as Aqua and this kid named Ventus. So, this is This game, I'm gonna be honest, kind of confusing because of one thing. Ventus looks like Roxas. I don't know how, and I want to know why. So, in this one, in this game, you go on a journey and try to stop evil. That is the main thing. Just try to stop these creatures who, I don't think they call them heartless. I don't know. I don't think they do. And try to stop that. Stuff. So, yeah, this one's kind of confusing because I'm trying to wrap my head around it. Okay, so in this one, you try to stop evil. Because why not? And you go on, you do that. Well, at first, when the game first starts, you play. Sorry, folks, I'm still trying to board out of that complete rant. Give me a second here. Okay, so beginning of the game, you start on Destiny Island. It looks up what it looks like, and you see this hooded creature and this hooded man drop this thing on a tree. And moments later, you look like Roxas, but it's actually Ventus. Okay, and you see that his heart is cracked open. So he makes a deal. He makes a deal with someone and gets his heart like renewed and stuff. So he's like reborn, hence the name Birth by Sleep. So later on, you learn about these two other Keybladers named Terra and Aqua, and stuff. So they become friends, good friends, and everything. So kind of like a brother and sister kind of thing, even though the sister is in love with one of the brothers that comes in later. So after that, they try to do something called a Mark of Mastery, because the only way you can become a true Keyblade Master is through these trials. And Aqua, she becomes the Master. She becomes the Master Aqua. Hence the name in the other games that Mickey mentioned about it. So, after that, the day after, since a big evil, they got a letter from a friend named Sid and go out and try to figure out what's the problem. So they go through the journey, go through different worlds and everything, and at the end, they end up at this one place called the Keyblade Graveyard because one battle happened. And you learn that the main villain of this whole thing is Xehanort. And you kind of defeat him in a way and stuff. So at the end of it, Xehanort tries to get Terra's heart because Terra has dipped down in the darkness stuff. So he defeats him. So you kind of wonder, what was his main goal? Well, his main goal was to do two things. One, get all the darkness and try to make Kingdom Hearts. That, and also make the ultimate Keyblade called, I call it X-Blade, okay? I just call it X-Blade. And how he did that was, there's a person, looks like Sora, with black hair, and that thing is the other part of Ventus's heart, and they make the Keyblade, or the X-Blade. So, with that, Ventus sacrifices himself, try to destroy the Keyblade, and he does. The other thing's gone, and that's it. Though, Ventus does wake up. Ish. So, at the end of it, Terra, he gets taken over by Xehanort, and he does defeat him. And that darkness is still inside Terra, and eventually Aqua and him battle. Aqua wins, but gets sentenced to the realm of darkness. where she still is to this day. At this, Ventus is still asleep, and Terra, nobody knows where he's at. I actually like this game. This is my third favorite. This is my third favorite game of the series. I like this one because it was kind of different. You could go on 3 different journeys. I liked that. It was like kind of like the way that everyone's kind of designed, except Ventus, because still Terra, he's big and bulky, so he's strongest. Aqua, she's more of a magic type, but she still has strength in herself. Stuff. Ventus, he's everything else. Yeah, I kind of liked it. I also kind of like how they have their own armor system, where they have their own armor. You know that if you play the Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, at one scene, you see this one person of Organization 13 goes down to his chair, and you see this armor. That's Aqua's armor. So it kind of hints. So yeah, I liked and all that. I don't know if I got the whole story right on this one, but hey, it was kind of confusing because you have to go through all these journeys, see all different points of view, and all leads up to this one big battle. And yeah, it is kind of confusing. Yeah, it kind of is. So, also it was kind of cool to see more about the history of the Keyblade itself, learning that there once was a big giant Keyblade war. Also, you can see what Mickey was like before he had the golden Keyblade that he has. So, on to the next one. Dream Drop Distance Dynasty, I call it anyway. Or Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop. That's kind of what it's kind of called. So, yeah. This one is my 4th favorite in the series. I liked it because of one thing. You get to play as Riku. You never haven't got to play as Riku ever since. Now you haven't got to play as Riku ever since Rechain of Memories, Final Mix. I think I don't know. So on to the next big adventure. They gotta do one thing. They gotta do another Mark of Mastery test, which Riku and Sora are the only 2 Keymasters. Because I guess Mickey's not. I don't know. And the test is they gotta awaken these sleeping worlds. So you gotta go on these different worlds. There's also another thing I kind of like. There's actually a time limit. You have a special amount of time to play as each character and everything. Even though you can choose which way you want to go. I like this. You have a time limit and all that. They do this way better than Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. I think they do this way better. So with that, the story keeps unraveling and you keep going on. I like that. And you go into some worlds and everything. And also, just want to say, this is the first Kingdom Hearts game where there's no Final Fantasy characters. Shocked! Yeah. It's kind of shocking. Ish. Though there is some, like minor characters, like that little pig and everything. So, there's that. Yeah. The characters from Square Enix title they bring in is ones called The World Ends With You, which is a really good game. I recommend it. I'll talk about that on a later day after I finish it. So, yeah, that's pretty interesting. It's pretty cool. So, yeah, I also like this one because the worlds are pretty cool. You go to the Hunchback Notre Dame world. Get to go to a Tron Legacy world, which was one of my favorite movies, by the way. And a lot of others. So, yeah. And also, you get to learn more about a little bit more of Xehanort's plan. His next plan. Which is turning all the everyone else from Organization 13 into embodiments of Xehanort. Yeah. So he's trying to build an army of Xehanorts out of people from Organization 13. And also, you get to see a younger version of him. Yeah. And this is where the plot kind of thickens. So, after you get done being Sora, and Sora falls asleep in a dream, yeah, it's kind of confusing. Roxas learns that their plan is also trying to turn Sora into a Xehanort. And eventually, Roxas defeats him. It took me 50 times to do that. And at the end, after Riku defeats him, Riku gets the Mark of Mastery. And here's another thing. I think this is kind of confusing. Some people who used to be part of Organization 13 don't become Xehanort. Axel, he doesn't become that. Actually, he gets a new name. Kind of confusing. And here's another thing. He gets a Keyblade! Yeah. So with that in mind, yeah, and also another person gets a Keyblade. A secret ending is that I think the girl who Roxas fell in love with while he was in Organization, she comes back. I think. Yeah. So yeah. This one is kind of like a little getting you ready for Kingdom Hearts 3. Ish. This is kind of like a prologue to that. Ish. So, the next game I'm going to talk about is the final one. Which, the only way you could have played this is if you got the HD 2.8 one, which is called Kingdom Hearts, the Final Chapter, where you play as Aqua in her journey in the Realm of Darkness. And this one is kind of not, it's really the point of this one is just, Aqua is trying to find a way to gather stuff, and she does. This one is kind of confusing, because I think this is what I think about the Realm of Darkness in this game. Time kind of fast forwards in this one, ish. Because if you play Birth by Sleep, you kind of see Terra and Aqua, they go to Destiny Island. And Aqua, she passed down one of the Keyblades. I think two boys, Sora and Riku. I don't remember which one. I think it was Riku, but hey. I don't know. So, and that's when Sora and Riku are just little kids. So, yeah. And at the end of it, after you defeat some giant monster, which was really hard to defeat, and with the help of King Mickey, defeat that monster. Mickey gets I think Key of Darkness or Key of Light, and helps everyone that. While he was doing that, Aqua is still battling that monster. This one is actually, and after you do that, you get to see the final scene. You get to see that Riku and Mickey get these new outfits by Master Yen Sid, and they go on their journey. And Yen Sid tells Sora that he needs to get his powers back, so they go back to Mount Olympus. I thought this was like a pretty good little taste what's to come, and all that. So, what is my thoughts about final chapter? It's good. If you want to play it, go play it. I think it's kind of cool. You get to play as Aqua, which was one of my favorite characters from Birth by Sleep. and you just... Also, I think the reason why they made this one is because you get a little look of what Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to look like. Because this is like the first time they're on a new engine, Unreal Engine 4, I think. And you get to see how it looks. Which looks amazing. I like it. So, yeah. So that's all of the Kingdom Hearts games. Yep, that's all of them. That's all of them. I'm not going to talk about any more. Fine, I'll talk about the cinematic of Unicross X or something. I'm not talking about the game because I have not really played the game at all. I have a lot of memory. I have a lot of memory. Not that much memory on my phone, folks. I use it to make these things. Okay, so hey. So I'm just going to talk about the cinematic. So, in this game, there's like different clans and everything. I don't know all their names. Not really going to bother. Where they're in this little town where there's this book that kind of unravels that sees the future. Yeah, and they have a master. And that master is in the black cloak. Why is everyone in the black cloaks usually evil? I don't know why. So, with the master saying that there's someone in the group that's evil and going to destroy him, it kind of causes a lot of chaos. So, yeah. The cinematic is kind of good, but kind of confusing unless you don't play the game, I guess, because they kind of skip a lot of things. And once again, they're trying to use the Unreal Engine, try to see how it does, too. That's also another thing. It's kind of like test footage. But also has a good sense what might be the thing, and it might give you a little taste of what's to come. So, all that. So, at the end of the movie, you get to see about the master handing the Keyblade to this kid. And the Keyblade has an eye, which is that master's eye. You don't know who that master is, but I also got a feeling I might know who that kid is handing to. I think that kid is Xehanort. Yeah, I think the kid is Xehanort. He gives hands to that Keyblade. And also, I think that Keyblade is also Riku's Keyblade, the one he uses all the time. That too. So, yeah. So, this is kind of my theory. That master of that little clan group, everything, he's the main villain. He's the one who's making Xehanort do all these things. Unless Xehanort is that master. That's also my other theory, too. I don't think Xehanort is really the main villain. I think the master is. Whoever that master is the main villain. Even though Xehanort might also be put into this. So, there's that. And also, here's another theory I like to put out here. I think Riku is Xehanort's son. That's another thing, too. So, they kind of look alike. So, in some ways, the hair and all that. Even though a lot of people in this game series has a lot of big hair. So, hey, I'm looking at you, Cloud. Yeah. So, that's Kingdom Hearts. One of my favorite game series. Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out next year in January. So, I already got myself a pre-order down for it. So, I'm getting it. But, here's something I'm kind of afraid of. I'm afraid that Kingdom Hearts 3 might be the final game. Final game for Sora. I'm kind of afraid that at the end of this, Sora is going to die. I'm kind of afraid about that. Because Even though not many people, even though Sora's not my favorite character, you play as him as the most in the entire series. You get to know about him, you get to see his struggles and all that, and all everything else. So, yeah. So, yeah. I think Sora is going to die at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3. Maybe. Is it either going to be him or Riku? So, after that, what's Kingdom Hearts going to do? What is Square Enix and Disney going to do after they get done making Kingdom Hearts 3? Well, they also say this is also the end of the Xehanort saga. So, that kind of gives me a hint that there's going to be another saga. There's going to be another game series. Another series of Kingdom Hearts. Maybe. I'm the Big Blue. And you know what? I think we're going to have a blast with Kingdom Hearts 3. See ya. Also, another thing. I mostly put my announcements of what my videos are going to be on Twitter. So follow me on Twitter at the Big Blue 97 or at the Big Blue 997. Look for me while I'm wearing this hat and wearing sunglasses. I'm the Big Blue, folks. Have a good day. Hello, my name is the Big Blue. You are my channel or my channel video. Please hit the like hit the like button if you like this video. And please hit the subscribe button to subscribe to be notified. And to be notified, hit the bell button so you know when my next video is up. Or when that ever is, I don't know. And please, search around my other videos here. I am very entertaining sometimes. Trust me on that one. If you don't, I will come and get you with my key blade and unlock your heart and take you to the darkness forever!